time for the heavyweights. Gable Steveson, third at the NCAA championships as a freshman, ranked #1 here as a sophomore, undefeated at 9-0. 8 of those victories bonus points. And out of Clovis, California, Seth Nevills, a 4-time state champion, 169-1. These are two of the more decorated high school heavyweights in the history of high school wrestling at the weight class. Gable Steveson, of course, 4-time Minnesota state champion.
Like I said earlier, I'm excited to see what Nevills brings to the table if he can slow down Steveson, and see what Gable Steveson shows up today. But pretty talented, and I don't think it's going to be close, but you never know.
Steveson's 2 career losses to Anthony Cassar of Penn State. Unfortunately, Cassar suffering an injury, so
his
season over.
Oh, wow,
oh,
nice.
Look at Nevills. Powers back into him. Yeah, both these guys got some horsepower, no doubt. Gable Steveson so active, he wrestles like he's a 49-pounder. Gable Steveson, junior world champion. So talented, but Nevills not going to back down. Double unders from Steveson.
Impressive, focused effort there forward with Stevenson's double unders. Finally got the takedown.
Steveson made final X. Lost to Nick Wisdowski. That was for a spot on the senior world team. In the World Team Trials tournament, beat Adam Kuhn 13-3 and 8-1.
Wow.
To secure a spot in final X.
Caution.
And you look at University of Minnesota, the great tradition at heavyweight. Tony Nelson, the last national champion for Minnesota, 2-time national champion at heavyweight. Cole Conrad, couple-time national champion out of Freedom, Wisconsin. We mentioned Brock Lesnar.
Garrett Lowney.
Garrett was not a national champ, but he was an Olympic medalist in Greco. Garrett was one of those guys kind of like you know, in that 230 range. Too big for 197, but undersized at heavyweight. Steveson will give the escape 2-1. 1:15 here in the first period. You go way back. Leonard Levy in 1941 and Vern Gagne in 1949.
I don't remember them.
A lot of great heavyweights. Steveson looking to get his name on one of these banners here inside Missouri Pavilion. Nevills' lone defeat was to the aforementioned Tony Cassiope of Iowa, lost 7-0. That was in that duel inside Carver Hawkeye. Minnesota and Michigan did duel each other, but Steveson did not wrestle in that duel. So Paris and Steveson have yet to wrestle this year.
Wrestling fans will have to be patient to the Big Tens to see that.
When I think about top matchups I want to see, that might be #1. Paris and Steveson.
Center.
Lee and Pletcher
Center.
right there as well. Both guys hang out in the final seconds here at the first period. We'll go 2-1 to the second period. Big matchups next weekend. There you see Lee and Pletcher 1 versus 2, and Steveson and Cassiope in a 1-3 matchup when Minnesota tangles with Iowa. Saturday doubleheader here on BTN. Shove there by Nevills.
Out of bounds.
Maintains control. Of course, Seth's brother Nick, an All-American heavyweight here at Penn State. Got a brother that wrestles at Fresno State.
Yeah, you got to let him set first.
I believe that's AJ.
Let him set, here we go. Set ready.
Neville's doing a nice job. I mean, he's in this match. Obviously 2-1 the score.
1, 2.
Steveson about out.
Green Sterling, one.
Steveson with an escape, back up by 2. It's stalling on Nevills, backing out. Penn State bench doesn't like that call. Seth Nevills, junior Pan American champion. Again, another guy with that freestyle experience. In this duel, JD, Gable Steveson, Mark Hall, Mitch McKee, all part of the junior world team in 2017 that won in Finland. They edged Russia by 1 point. That was the first junior freestyle team championship since 1984. 3 of the guys are in here. You look at the rest of that team. Ryan Deacon wrestles at Northwestern, ranked number 1 at 157. Colin Moore was bronze that year, ranked number 1 at 197. Always some Big Ten horsepower on all those teams.
Yeah, if you're not keeping up with that, following what they're doing at the age group world championships, you've got to do
Well,
that.
these guys, of course, I mean, we see them here in college wrestling, but they got big-time dreams. I mean, they want to win NCAA titles, world titles, Olympic titles. Thinking big picture, big goals.
One of the greatest contributors to recruiting is who is there at that school wrestling after college. Is a great environment to go after those gold medals.
For sure. 4-1 match. Collar tie from Steveson, left side, and they'll finish the period in this position. Riding time a non-factor. We see Brandon Eggum, 4 seasons as head coach here at Minnesota. So Nevills goes on bottom. He trails it by 3. Of course, if you're him right now, you're thinking escape, takedown. First things first, you got to get out from on bottom. You see Steveson pinching that side. Is not contested. Steveson off that underhook. Gets his second takedown. Widens the gap, now up 6-2.
Great job keeping that underhook. Moves really well, obviously. I was surprised by Nevills. That's the second time he took a really, really low shot from too far away and really not setting it up.
You look at both these guys, the hips, their core. You better come with some purpose. One thing to get to their legs, another thing to finish. Look at that quickness on the counter from Steveson, trying to beat Nevills, gets the corner, and scores the 2. Steveson in placing 3rd last year at the championships in Pittsburgh, was the highest placing true freshman in the field. Got 40 seconds remaining.
Neutral.
Once you attack, you're in underneath, you've got to get back out, because Steveson or anybody that's in that top position right there is able to spin around on their feet much faster than you can move underneath.
Scoring again off of Neville's shot. Up by 6, going to need a couple of takedowns, although maybe just one. He's got riding time at 58 seconds, so if he's able to get a takedown here quickly, he can still get a major. There it is. The takedown. That'll take riding time over a minute. And in the final seconds of the match, Gable Steveson gets the major decision. It's a good way to finish. I like that.
Yeah, the Minnesota crowd's hanging around to see their boy wrestle at heavyweight to finish the match strong. Tough day for the Gophers, but great win at heavyweight.
Gable Steveson remains undefeated, picks up his 10th win in this his sophomore campaign, now 9-10 bonus points.